You can't get murdered because you have a baby. That's fair. I will tell them that when they're about to murder us.
Wait, hold
This
on, I
one's
have a
off
child.
Yeah, these two
You
murders.
can't kill him.
Name me.
He's a mother.
Yeah.
God damn it. Oh no. Okay.
So yeah, V will video call
God.
his dad.
Oh God.
Video call.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
Specifically so that we can all talk to him.
Okay.
I mean, it's either. Oh God, this is.
Okay. There's a couple of
You guys
seconds
can see
where you think
how unreasonable he is.
there's a couple of seconds where you think he's not going to pick up, but then it clicks and you see a picture of Gary Oak, which I think at least Milo has probably met him before, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we've probably met a couple times.
Yeah, it's not
You
like
know, in that like. How's it going, sir?
yeah.
Thanks for keeping my son out of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Here, I'll post at least a portrait profile of him, just for funsies,
Oh.
Hell yeah.
so that you guys can stare at something while
While talking.
talking. Do I throw the carrot? God damn it! Now
I
saw your
don't
message.
know. I know.
Anyways, yeah, you call and you see Gary Oak. His hair graying a little bit more from stress than anything else. In the background, there appears to be some sort of bustling atmosphere, several tables, like an overhanging, large leaf. V, you recognize this as one of the more opulent cafes in Viridian City, and you also probably recognize that he's there with somebody because he's like very well put together.
Is he on a
Good. He'll
date?
have his
Are
filter
we
on.
crashing his date? I hope so. God, I hope so.
He kind of pauses and goes, I'm terrified but also intrigued.
Okay.
What happened?
Good morning.
Hello, Milo.
Don't start with yelling. My friends are here.
I'm not yelling.
V, it's a two-way street.
Okay.
Well, we can have the conversation.
Why is one of your friends not wearing clothes?
He fell in the hot tub. It's fine.
I fell in the hot tub. Yeah.
Oh,
Tried to stop him.
He didn't. He didn't even
Okay.
reach for me.
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
did.
I am waiting for an explanation.
Okay.
Well, my clothes are wet, and I didn't
Not
want to
you.
stand around soggy. So,
Thank you. I appreciate the forwardness. I'm waiting for an explanation from my child, or Milo.
I have legal questions that we need to ask, otherwise I wouldn't be calling you.
In the
Yeah, we
background,
might need
you
some
hear a
help.
muffled laughter, and you see Gary's eyes flicker up as if he's looking over the top of the phone at somebody else, and he scowls visibly at that person and goes, "Don't." And then he looks back down and goes,
Who are you hanging out with?
"An old friend.
Who's that? Hello?
It's an old friend."
Can I
And
see them?
you hear from the
Wait,
background.
turn your phone.
I'm not going to turn my phone. And you hear from the background a familiar voice to you, V, and goes, "It's just Aunt Misty, don't worry about it."
Oh. Well, that's not exciting.
All right.
Okay.
So here's the story, and I can kind of just give you the cliff notes here. You heard about the train situation, and V's post about it, right? I think you guys talked about that. You talked about that. I remember you talking.
I mean, I don't really know if he follows me on Ruffler.
I think you actually told him about it in a phone call, and then anyway.
I think I
know-
told him that I pissed off Sylph.
Or-
I don't think I
know
said
about
what I
the
actually
post,
said.
Yes. Why? What is
So-
Okay,
happening?
good. Perfect.
While we were in Cinnabar, we got a mysterious letter from
And awesome tickets.
somehow or somewhat related to Silphco. It was on their stationery, but it wasn't signed by anybody. It just said, like, you're invited to join the cruise, and it had 3 golden tickets to the cruise. And so...
Look how fancy this is. He holds up one of them up in front of the phone.
Gary's face has gone from concerned to downright, like, he's stuck somewhere between rage and, like, horror. But he's controlling it very well, where he's just got, like, you know, one hand over his face, like, covering the bottom half of his mouth, just going...
Listen, if we didn't have, like, beef with them, or they didn't have beef with us, I wouldn't have even, like, wanted... This is obviously a trap. Obviously, there's bad things happening,
I don't think...
We have backup plans
invited us.
in store, and we have our Pokemon professor literally in the wings waiting to hear from us. So we've taken precautions, and we're going into this intelligently and trying not to, like, really cause serious trouble for ourselves or anyone else. But the reason we're calling you, Mr. Oak, is that you have the best access to actual lawyers and legal teams. And we just wanted you to kind of be aware of the situation beforehand in case such resources become necessary.
We're on a Sylph boat.
Yeah, no, I don't think I don't think the ship, it might be owned by Sylph.
Okay, well, we're on a big boat, and Sylph invited us, and we got to talk to them at dinner.
Yeah, we're having a dinner with one of their...
At least we're having dinner with them.
Tonight.
They didn't say that we're talking with us.
Some bigwig, but we're having dinner with them tonight. Hopefully we'll know what's up.
Milo thinks that they're going to tell us to stop or threaten or kill us.
They're not going to kill us. They're going to threaten us. They're going to try to butter us up. They're going to try to bribe us, and then they're going to threaten us, and then that's how it's going to go.
I've heard enough. He kind of pauses, rubs his face, and goes, V, I need you to take your friends and get off that boat right now.
I can't get off the boat. We're on
Where
the boat.
Is Delia?
Like
Where is Delia? She said she
in
was
another
with
boat.
You. Why is Delia not in the same boat as you are?
She didn't get a ticket.
V.
Only we got tickets.
In making this
three
plan,
tickets.
I
Miss
understand
Delia
that you
did really express her worry that this was going to incur frustrations or extra concerns on your half, and your part, and she really did want us to not pursue this. But I
also,
particularly feel...
Don't call her and threaten her. That's rude.
I didn't threaten her. I
particularly feel that this is necessary for us to do because we're on this journey, and if we don't, and he'll literally give the same spiel, if we don't go through with this now, then it's just going to get worse down the line, and we need to be able to work at least not with, but around Silphco. I don't want this to go badly, but I also don't want them to be able to boss us around. So if we run from this, they're just going to keep coming after us, but if we confront them, we maybe be able to find some middle ground.
Milo, I
Like if we talk
appreciate
to
your
them,
level-headedness.
And tell them to fuck off.
No, well, I mean...
Listen, children, Milo, I appreciate your level-headedness, but respectfully, does your mother know that you are trying to play a game of cat
Don't
and
tell her
mouse?
either.
Who is going to stop me, V?
Me. I'm going to tell you, don't tell her, because that's mean.
You think that you will be making it better, but in fact, I am afraid you are making it worse. I am not yelling now, because I am just... He kind of, like, visibly tries to recollect
You're in
himself.
public and can't yell at me.
You know, Mr. Oak, you're right. And I'm actually going to call her right after this, so that she's also aware and up to date as to
your
what we're
mom
getting
too?
into. Yeah, she deserves to know. This is dangerous, V. But
I don't want her to yell at us.
I'll do it.
We lost this
I'll talk to
cookie.
her.
She's gonna be mad at the Tupperware.
But you're right. She should know, and I'll call her right now. Okay?
And who are you? I'm sorry, I don't even know who this third child is. The one not wearing pants. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Kid. He kind of
His name is
hand
Kid.
up, waving.
Right, Kid. Just Kid.
Yep.
His parents are like Pokemon professors, I think. Right?
I think they
Well,
breed
what
Pokemon.
one? My mom's a professor. She's working on, going through that process. My dad's a breeder. So I'm kind of
So like
I'm
maybe
kind
you
of
know
in the
her.
life, but
Right.
not as thick as you guys seem to be.
Right.
I don't make deals with Sylph, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, we're not
Yeah,
gonna make a
big
deal with
people.
them.
Yeah, that's why
V,
we're sending
We're gonna
V in
tell
to
them
talk.
to leave us alone.
I implore you, please. I understand that you're trying to do this, but they will simply get. This is why I asked Delia to come with you, so that this doesn't happen. This exact thing.
I mean, she's kind of like she's following with her boat
Good.
alongside
Then
the
get
big
on
boat.
that boat. Take your Pokemon.
Stroke,
No.
Make
I don't want
sure.
to jump off the boat.
I'm not.
That's like
when
that's
you were our
that's
age,
like
would you have
plan
let
F.
anything stop you from going on your journey, your adventure, having it your way? Like everything I've heard from everybody was no. You would not have let somebody tell you no, you can't do it that way. We're just trying to do it our way.
And Gary
And we know
just
it's
kinda
dangerous, and
glares
I
at you
want
and goes, "Do not use my past against me."
I apologize for the disrespect there, but it is true. And in going on this adventure, in leaving home, this is our first steps into becoming adults, okay? So I have to be able to talk to you and Acacia and my mom and Dee as equals, and we understand this. We know it's dangerous. We don't even know how dangerous it could be. It's so dangerous, but we're not
They
trying to do
can't
this.
kill us in public on a cruise ship.
Especially now that everyone knows we're here, right?
Yeah.
Plus, we're like a week out on our journey, and we already have the first badge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the first badge, Dad.
It kind of glances back down. You see that he's been looking up and he's been murmuring something to the person across the table from him, and they're kind of engaged.
Having a side
Yeah,
conversation.
having a side conversation that looks very intense, where he's like, "No, I can't. Look, what am I supposed to do? Look, no, don't bring this
Look,
up."
I got the ghost
Is that-
badge.
Yes, that's good. Oh, that's
So we're
good.
yeah.
Congratulations. What? No, don't tell me. No, I'm doing my best. All right, just hold on. Attention split, Misty. Don't.
Aunt Misty, tell him that like your friend was stupid. He did stupid shit. You told me all the time about all the dumb stuff he's done.
You hear Misty from across the table. Oh, that's a good point, honestly. I can't deny that. But as this all happens, Gary kind of pauses, looks back, inspects the badge, drops his head into his hands again, and goes, "I have to do everything myself. Listen, whatever you do,
No,
don't give
we're on a
them-
boat.
Well, you're not going to be on a boat for very long if I have anything to say about it.
Look.
Listen to me. If you talk to whoever gave you those tickets, do not give them any extra information. Do you understand? You need to keep your mouth shut. If they ask you what you know nothing. If they ask you if you talked about it, you talk to nobody. If they ask you what Pokemon you're carrying on you, you say you don't have any Pokemon. Do you understand? There's just nothing. V, look at me. I need eye contact for this, V.
Look.
If you do,
Can't not talk to him.
please.
Obfuscate.
He-
That's what he's asking.
What?
You're good at that.
What?
Just deflect. Don't tell the truth. Don't actually answer
Okay.
the man's questions tonight. That's what he's asking.
So what do I talk about? Just like that the cruise ship is cool?
I mean, if he asks you how many Pokemon we have, then you say, well, we don't have any with us right now. We've caught a bunch, but we sent them back to our professor. You just lie, obfuscate, deflect, and then you ask, I don't know, what Pokemon do you have? I mean, what would a Magnus, ton have? He apparently would have a Magneton, but you need to ask the questions that he can answer.
Gary
Okay.
glances
Well, tell
around
him-
and goes, "Fine, very well.
Please don't try to stop us, because then we're just gonna have to.
Oh, don't
make
worry,
you mad.
Milo. I know I can't stop you, but I know that I will be running cleanup duty for whatever fallout this will have."
I appreciate you being there to clean up the
I
fallout.
just wanted you to know in case we got disappeared on a cruise ship and maybe there's legal evidence that Silphco killed us.
He takes a deep breath.
And you will avenge me.
In the background, you hear Misty very, not very subtly stage whispering, "This would be a good moment." And Gary takes a visibly deep breath and goes, "Thank you for communicating with me openly. I appreciate you telling me things."
That almost
You dead?
didn't sound
Yes?
like you were gonna bite your tongue off through saying that.
"I will see you
This?
in a moment." And then the phone clicks off and he just hangs up.
He seemed kind of cool with that. Okay, alright.
Okay, guys.
He's kind of nodding obliviously.
I mean, if they weren't in a public place, that would have been a lot more yelling. And I think he's mad.
He's definitely not happy, but he's definitely not wrong, and I'm gonna go to our room and go have an equally complicated conversation.
Do you want me there
Call,
too?
just call her in here. We're alright here. Just go ahead and call her. That's the worst I can have.
Can we tell that your mom that we made terrible choices too, and I'm more afraid of her, honestly, that she's going to like manifest through the phone and murder us
Yeah.
herself.
Just tell her that you already called Dee's dad, and so everything's cool and she doesn't have to worry.
Okay, and
Yeah,
he'll sit
and he
down
said
at
it
the
was-
table. And
He said everything was fine and he wasn't mad at us at all.
he doesn't put it on video phone because he's not entirely sure that she knows how the video phone would work. But he does just call her and then put it on speakerphone.
Mm-hmm.
So while it's ringing, he just kind of like rings it and then puts it on the speakerphone, and he's sitting there like leg tapping, staring at the phone.
She answers eventually, and you hear, "Milo, is everything okay? I didn't, honey, I didn't expect you to call
Hi,
in
Miss
so
Walker.
soon." "Hi, V.
Hey, Mom.
I hope you're
Yeah,
doing well."
Everything's good. We're on a cruise ship.
We're on
actually.
a cool ship.
So
that's good.
we're enjoying a little bit of luxury.
Congratulations. Wow.
But there are some things that you should probably be aware of.
Might not
we
be
are
happy
being-
about it.
Oh, okay.
No. Don't.
Don't leave with that.
I mean,
I
she
wanted
should
to
at
do this
least
in my
know.
room, but you should. We'll get there. Okay.
If you can
So-
like steal yourself for it.
We've been kind of interacting a little bit online on the internet with Silphco. They
Wow, that's a
No, they never
that's a
answered me.
big company.
I told you about the accident, right? The train accident we got in, right? You heard about it on the news, and there was a little bit of implication from Silphco in there of some wrongdoings with some Pokemon nests, and we brought that to people's attention because we really feel like all three of us, and we really feel
They're
like,
doing bad stuff.
yeah, if they're doing bad stuff, they really should be called out on doing bad stuff, and so
Alright.
we did that, and when we were in Cinnabar, after getting our gym badges, and all three of us got ours. I know I let you know that I got mine, but V got his last night too.
Um,
Got a badge.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so we
Congratulations.
all have our first ones.
Okay,
But when we came back
congratulations,
to the Pokemon Center, there were some mysterious tickets to a cruise ship that was leaving the next morning from Silphco.
Bruce. Wow,
it
you
doesn't-
won them because of the badges? Is that what you're saying?
No.
We won them, but not because of that, I think.
Yeah, they said that we. I don't think that the letter even said it. Just said things said
Well,
we were
it just-
invited.
Yeah, it said that
you
we
won.
won.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we won. I don't think it said what we won or what we like entered, but it said that we won 3 VIP tickets to this like Cinnabar to Jade Island like cruise ship.
So, since we were heading that way anyway, and we had met some other friends, we gave the boat we were using to those other friends and are having them follow us. But we do have a meeting with somebody powerful tonight, and we don't expect it to go the way that they want it to go. So, in the effort of full transparency, we're going about our adventure as safe as we can, but what we're doing could be construed as dangerous, and I really just want you to know that I'm being safe, and I'll call you tomorrow when everything's passed, and I love you. And that's really all I really wanted to.
And we had to tell you because if I didn't, and my dad might yell at you because
we didn't
he's a
want
jerk.
Mr. Oak to be mean. So now at least if he calls you, you can say that you knew what was happening.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that sounds intense. That sounds like a lot, but I trust you, Milo.
Yeah, just
I trust that you're
ignore
being
him. It's fine.
safe. So, I mean, congratulations on getting on the ship, and I'm sure you'll figure it out, right? And she seems a little bit confused, like she's not quite keeping up, but she just
he did that really fast.
Yeah, and she's just kind of like, all right, I'm sure it'll go great, honey.
We've heard
of course.
all of Dad's stories. This will be nothing compared to that. Like, what are people compared to Pokemon? Right?
Right. And she for a moment, her face falls, and you see a flicker of something when you say that. That's like, what are people compared to Pokemon? And she kind of pauses and looks down and goes, oh, you really are just like your father. Okay, well, I knew that from the beginning.
But it's just like, in case they get mad at us and, like, we are gonna talk to them and hopefully they won't do anything.
If we goof up, just so you know, we're here, and if you don't hear anything, you know why. Is what he's saying.
If I don't call you tomorrow, if I don't call you tomorrow, call Professor Acacia, okay? And if she doesn't, or if they don't know where we are,
or the police,
then call the police immediately.
The police. Is this something that's going to be that bad? I mean, it sounds like you won, and you're going to have a meeting with somebody very important.
Like we said.
They
might
Milo's
tell
gonna
us
pick up
to stop.
Milo's gonna pick up the phone and take it off speakerphone to his bedroom.
They just might tell us to cease and desist, and if we say no, they might get mad.
Kid cups his hands around his mouth. The implication as he's running out.
Milo's just like got his head down in the phone. I'm sorry. Okay. Listen, it is dangerous because they are a big company. They could, anything could happen, and you and I both knew when I set out on this adventure that dangerous things could happen, and that I was gonna follow my instincts and my heart the way that you and Dad taught me to, right?
Right. No, I know that, but this started out as so positive. I'm not quite sure exactly what you're insinuating.
That's why
I heard something about implications and cease and desist.
So, what I was saying about our presence online.
Right.
We've been. Big companies don't like it when their name is not spoken of in a positive way, and we have not been speaking of them in a positive way. So what I foresee is for them to tell us to shut up. And you know V as well as I do. He's not gonna. And I don't want him to. Honestly, what we're saying needs to be said. And I am willing to go through with what I need to go through in order to stand by that decision. But it could be dangerous, and if I don't call you tomorrow, you need to call Acacia, and if they don't know where we are, then you need to call the police, okay?
Okay, that's a lot. I'm
scared, but this has to get done, and this is what the Pokemon adventure is for, right? We become the adults that we want to be.
Right. I know that. I just am not... Well, Milo's talking to his mom. Kid's gonna show V how to defend himself. Oh, I see. Oh no. Long story short, you kind of, she's not quite certain if she likes where this is going, but she's just kind of like, okay, all right.
I just need to know that you know where I am. And that I don't need to even know you approve, because I know that the danger inherent in this is probably going to stop that. But that at least I was the one that told you, and you don't hear about it from somebody else. Because I don't regret deciding to do this, and I don't I think it's a stupid decision, but I don't think it's a bad one.
Okay. Milo, listen, I do trust you. I really do. It just seems like a lot, you know? It just seems like a lot.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
It is.
Right. Well,
I'll call you tomorrow, okay?
yes, please do. I really don't
I'm
want
gonna go enjoy a cruise ship.
Yes, please do. That sounds great. Try not to do anything too dangerous for, you know, me and also your dad's sake.
I know. I'm being as safe as I can. I promise you that. And I've got good friends and good Pokemon, so
Right.
I think we'll be okay.
I hope so.
Alright.
Have a good time.
Stay safe. Love you.
She returns it and, you know.
Hangs up. Milo will walk back in. Okay.
This is V tries to like sucker punch kid in the arm.
I mean, V, you gotta plant your back foot. You can't like go on your.
What?
Yeah. All right. So.
I mean, he just needs to hold still.
Do you want to tell your parents that you might die today, kid?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Do you want to call your parents? Like, are you gonna tell them that you might die?
I mean, I
don't
can.
know.
It's up to you.
I'll probably just shoot him a text because, like,
Hey, Mom and Dad,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be
Right?
honest with you. I'm pretty sure
Yes,
this
might
isn't
die.
this isn't gonna come as a shock to them. It's like I said, my folks are pretty hands on, so this also wouldn't be the first time that they get a legal spill.
It's true.
I mean, they might worry a little. I am their son, and thinking about it, he will just quick text like, "Hey,
Real stuff.
we're in a yeah, we kind of tripped into stuff with Silphco. No big deal, you know. It is what it is. We're just meeting with them. They comped us VIP tickets on the boat. Just figured I'd let you know. We let our other parents know in the group just in case things go south. Of course, it's riddled with spelling errors because it's a messed up phone, but
Yeah. Okay. You get a text back that, like, not immediately, but maybe a couple of minutes later, that has, like, a thumbs up emoji, and it just says, stick it to the man. But then another one that follows up with, be careful. And
see,
it very specifically
They're
actually
pretty on
says,
board.
it basically says, like, be careful, and then say, don't trust Silphco.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, bad decisions made. Let's go explore the ship.
All right, hold on. Before we go, I have to hit kids.
Can I flank kid to give the advantage?
Wait, just hold still. Stop moving.
You are flanking
back
and
here,
also
back here.
trying to hold him still.
Back here.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
there you go.
Yay.
Kid gives you a thumbs up as you slug him in the arm. Look, we don't know how badly it could go, and we definitely want it to be talks because you know we are still just kids, but you need to be able to protect yourself.
Would you like to take 1 point of damage? Or it's technically -1, but
Yeah.
3.
I don't even know if I do any more than just one because I'm not like proficient
Yeah,
in
you're not
fighting or
proficient,
anything.
so
I think
it's
it's
just
like-
1. It's 1.
Yes.
It's really just one.
So.
Think.
Still, kid will still give you a thumbs up, like, hey,
Hey.
it's the attempt that matters, you know.
Alright, that one worked. That was better. Ow.
If things go south, just
Punch.
go down,
a guy
yeah,
in
go
the
down
face.
swinging. You have to swing. You cannot just let somebody run over you.
So if we get like tackled by security, fight back.
Mm, It depends. All right. Silphco security? Absolutely. Ship
Okay.
security? Maybe
Boat
not.
security.
Unless they're the same. In which case.
Tell them tell them not. How do we know?
How will we,
if-
yeah. Are they gonna be like a
Which one is
badge? Do they
Silphco?
have like?
I mean, I expect the ship security to be wearing some sort of uniform with the SS Karen logo
Right.
or something on it, whereas Sylph
You want me-
Security, Magnus's
Like, I
security
could
will
go
probably
find
be
one
like
and
astute or
ask.
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you already
You want me to
seen the
ask?
ship security because
Yeah.
he was the one that told you to put your Pokemon away.
Oh yeah. So
Put that Pokemon away.
I wouldn't expect them to be dressed like the ship security if they're just Sylph, unless of course Sylph owns the ship.
Do you think?
We're still unknown about that.
Do you think that they? Well, okay. So for that, I could go to the captain's quarters and have that tour that he was talking about, and then he would probably tell me if like it's owned by Silphco.
You could
But also, so do you think that they're like those like secret, super secret, like undercover, like they wear like suits and sunglasses?
That's what I'm imagining.
Have, like, an
for,
earpiece.
Sylph security, yeah. So if you get tackled
Okay.
by somebody like that, just
Punch them.
punch them, kick them, just squirm and run and scream and just don't stop swinging, man. Don't
Yeah.
stop swinging.
Okay. I mean, I know you said you wanted to take a nap, and you probably want to do that even more now that we talked to your mom.
I mean, yeah, but we need to go and check out the lifeboats. I need to make sure that there's something that we can actually like utilize in an emergency, so that I can make the proper plans from there. I know we wanted to look to
Okay.
see if there was anywhere we could gamble, and so
Right.
we've
Well,
got some
kid
other stuff,
could go
but
look for that, and you could do the lifeboat, and I could go and like do the
the tour.
the
Kinda
tour with the captain guy.
Just meet up here in what, like
Do you
3 hours?
think they would provide some swimming trunks? Because I don't think it's been long enough for me to be dry yet.
I mean, there's
But
probably
I
like,
also-
a shop you can buy some.
There was a courtesy store in the main atrium. I mean, it's going to be expensive,
Oh,
but
well, hey, just show them your VIP ticket and be like, hey, I didn't bring any swim trunks because I don't know,
wasn't aware.
I
was
forgot.
going on a cruise.
but
Now,
usually
I'm-
VIP,
I'm
you
on
get
board.
that kind of stuff.
I'm on board. Do you think they will give me any problem if I walk in there in my box?
I mean, some of the places have like you need a shirt and shoes, but that's usually the restaurants.
I will say that you guys with your rooms also got like a set of super really good quality silky pajamas that you could
put on a fancy
potentially-
robe.
Yeah.
Robes and
Yeah, kids just walk
Yeah.
around in some pajamas now then.
Okay, but
So-
like I said, since we're VIP, usually there's like VIP like courtesy stations, like where they give us or give you like fancy things because like rich people don't usually need to pay for the stuff that like you forget.
You can ask.
It can't hurt. Just keep your ticket and be like, hey, I got a super fancy golden ticket and I'm special and give me free stuff. Because I could
I'm
afford
kind of
to
a
pay
big
for
deal.
it.
Kind of a
Right?
big deal.
Because
I mean, that-
because I'm rich and I could afford to pay for it means I don't have to pay for it.
Incredible. Well, you can
Yeah.
try it.
Just go ask.
I mean, I'm good now. If they had some swanky pajamas, he's just gonna be walking around in some pajamas for a little while. No big deal.
Yeah.
He wasn't wearing very fancy stuff in the first place, so this is probably a step up, to be honest.
Probably.
They're just drip drying in the bathroom. They're gonna be all like, they're gonna smell terrible.
There's also probably a laundry service if you wanted
That's
to do
true.
that.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, he will probably take advantage of that at least, so that
Okay.
it's not mildewy and just awful whenever he goes to put them back on later on.
Right? Like we all should
Also,
take
was-
advantage of that because we've all been
Is your
injured for a
phone-
week.
Is your phone okay because you fell in the pool? How waterproof are they?
Oh yeah. It's supposed to be impact proof too. It's just you see what I get into.
Yeah, they're partially waterproof. It's don't take them below a certain.
Well
depth,
enough.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's good.
But yeah, as you guys kind of begin to, I'm guessing you're kind of splitting up then, or
Yeah, that's what it looks
Yeah.
like. We're
where's
gonna tackle a
everybody?
few-
Yeah, where's everybody going?
Milo is gonna go check out the emergency release rafts,
Okay.
the
On the side there.
jolly
yeah.
boats, the side
Mhm.
boats. And he wants,
Casually gonna look at your
Yeah.
emergency
Well, I mean,
lifeboats.
he's all right. He's gonna go in there with
The
a genuine.
craftsmanship on these life vessels are beautiful.
He's gonna go in there with his genuine Milo curiosity and his beaming personality, and hope that it completely does not seem like he's hoping to steal one of these things, because he's curious about just how it works, and you know.
Okay. We'll maybe get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Where's everybody else going? I just want to know first.
Kid'll probably go ask them, like the little crew right here in the middle, if there's like what all there is on the ship to do, because Milo mentioned up to like casino game corner type deal before we got on, and that's all I can think about.
Okay. Okay. V, what about you?
V was gonna go ask where the captain's like area is so that he could get that tour that he was promised.
Okay. Indeed. Well, spoiler alert, I don't have the captain's thing, so we're gonna you're gonna have a tour. However, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go put you down here. Hold on a second, because I do have a hallway. God, my computer's so laggy today. Give me 1 sec.
I don't know. Hell yeah, hallway.
Use the bathroom anyway. I'll be right back.
So you are being led around by the ship captain. Roll me a persuasion check, V. We'll start with V first, since this is kind of the general idea.
Talk him up, V, we believe.
Right? Just gonna ask general questions, try to see if I can figure out if Sylph owns the whole like ship or if they're just like a big
Nice.
donor or something.
It is probably more of the latter, so that's a really good roll. The guy likes you. He finds you entertaining. He's like, "Oh, you remind me of my daughter. You probably get along well with her. Say, are you, how old are you? You looking for a girlfriend? Should I set you up?" Oh, sorry, the kids these days don't like those kinds of jokes, huh? That's okay.
I'm 16.
Right. No, yeah, that's about right. He just blames you. He's but yeah, you find out that Sylph does not own the boat. However, they did donate a lot, and therefore they get a certain amount of tickets that they get every year for free, essentially.
Okay.
So some big
But
wigs.
it's not like actually.
It's
Sylph's
not
boat.
owned by Sylph. No, it's not like a Sylph-only boat.
Okay.
It's just a boat that Sylph partially funded, and therefore they have like a big stake in it. And I think they get like a share of all of the crew's earnings or whatever, essentially.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're like a stock owner, if you want that sort of thing. Is there anything else you'd like to know with a 21?
Is there anything else we needed to know? I guess he'll just like ask about the ship and like how it was, when it was made, how it was made, whether he can drive boats, if there's like what kind of stuff is on the boat.
Come back to whether he could drive the boat.
You, with the 21, you persuade this guy to actually lead you back into, like, you know, he shows you, like, the captain's quarters. Not, like, he doesn't go with you alone into the captain's quarters because it's just a big fancy room. That's weird. That's weird. He's like, and this is where I sleep. But anyways, let's go over there, you know.
My personal chambers.
Yes, no.
But we're not going in there.
We're not going in there. I don't have that sort of insurance. But yeah, he takes you over to the main, what do they call it? God. Where you steer the fucking boat from.
The helm.
The helm, yes, the helm. He takes you over to the helm. Obviously, it's not like a one-person thing. You know, he shows you like, oh, we have security cameras all over the boat. This is where they are. This is how we keep things safe. And here, yeah, sure, you can try to drive the boat a little bit. You know, it's not really, you're not driving so much as just standing at the helm and pretending, but it's kind of cool. Every single person in that helm room, is like looking at you like, what is this tiny child doing? But
quick, tell him to drop the anchor.
Which one of these buttons like does the horn?
Oh, that would be, and you see V in your peripheral vision, one of the other people, like, at the captain doing, like, the cutting motion, like, don't do it, don't say it. And the captain's like, oh, that would be, none of these. That is a special
sound right.
button reserved.
What does this button do?
Oh, don't touch that. Oh, that's something else. That is just the pressure. Nope, don't touch that. I think that's enough. That's enough of that. I'm really glad that this ship doesn't have a gravity.
Which one of these is the anchor?
Nope, I think that's enough of that, young man. Thank you very much for the tour, and we will be getting out of here now. I will say that in your mad dash, you do manage to sound the horn once.
Yes.
And as the rest of your friends are on the boat, they're like, oh yeah, that's probably me.
Is that the signal? Do we need to run?
I also forgot, but he would have asked like about the security on the boat, and once he learned that it's not like Sylph's boat, but it's just like they're a top like buyer, shareholder, whatever, if they have like personal security on the boat.
Oh, well, whatever Sylph representatives come in, they usually bring their own security with them. Not a lot by any means, because we do pride ourselves on being a very safe boat, and if you're worried by any means, don't worry. As you may have noticed, no hooligans are allowed to have their Pokemon out with them on the boat. There is, of course, a special little, on the bottom, the center, on the bottom chamber there, we have a little area for Pokemon to be let out of their Pokeballs if you so wish. Not for battling or anything uncouth like
just
that, but...
Like, let them stretch, go to the bathroom.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, indubitably.
Indubitably. But we also, of course, during the dinner, we also take care to basically remove any Pokemon from any of the visitors, just to keep them safe. They're obviously kept in safes. Nobody has access to them, but just to make sure that nobody tries to pull out a Nidoking and destroy the tables. That's never happened. Anyway.
So they have to be like coat checked?
Yes, essentially.
Okay.
So if you are worried about anything, you don't have to be. And we obviously have manpower on the boat if anybody starts trying to start anything.
I mean, are we allowed to just like leave them in our rooms? Do we have to check them with you?
Oh, if you'd like to leave them in your rooms, as long as, there's a safe in there if you think that somebody is going to go looking around. But of course there would be no thieves on my ship. I would never allow such. And
I'm assuming like the VIP section ourselves, like our deck where the rooms are, they have their own like designated security.
Oh yes, of course. Right? There is somebody patrolling that area at all times, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. They better keep their hands off my Pokemon.
Yeah, right.
And I mean, they're like also attentive to what things are happening around, and if say a guest were to like try to start a fight or something with a bunch of kids, or try to
of course,
like take them to a secondary location to murder them or something, like that wouldn't be allowed.
I'm sorry, what? Are you?
It's just hypothetical. Oh.
Right. No, hypothetically, of course, never. Our passenger safety is our topmost priority. I assure you that nothing like that no harm would ever come to any of the passengers. And if you are worried, lad,
all of them, like even if like they went against your top like shareholder, say Silphco, and made them mad.
That is a very strange hypothetical, and indeed, I think I shall use this to cut away to,
No child murders here!
No child murders here. Actually, let's go to Kid, because I feel like I'm neglecting Kid a little bit. Kid, what are you looking for? So they do have like a gambling area. There's a couple of slot machines, but no kids allowed, unfortunately. And when you start asking, they're like, oh yeah, we have a couple of slot machines. It's nothing huge. But unfortunately, you have to be over the age of 18 to go there. Sorry about that. But we do have like several pools. We got a hot tub. We have this
You can
Pokemon
pass for
Center on the
18.
bottom. What are you looking for, kiddo?
Really? Anything fun? We're just trying to kill time.
Sure.
Now that I know there's not a crazy cool casino.
Right. Yes. Well, depending on what you like, obviously, there is actually like a small, nothing huge, but essentially like a little amusement park and stuff where you can go, and there's like actually a little train inside of this entire cruise, and you can board it, and you can kind of go around, and there's like glass panel windows. It goes underneath the boat so that you can kind of see underwater.
yeah.
It's quite cool. You can do that. You know, costs a little bit, but you know, what you wouldn't dish out.
Not for VIP, surely.
But yeah, he tells you that there's like, you know, ping pong tables, there's pools, there's pool like pool billiards. There's like several restaurants. Some of them more like high fancy, other ones where you can just go and, you know, hang out essentially.
Yeah, kid's just gonna send Milo and via text like, "Yo, they got a train," and then that's all they get from him as he runs off to go ride the train.
They have a train.
Got a train.
Okay.
Wait, they have a place for us to train? Or did I misinterpret? There's a lot of typos here.
They have a train. They have a train. Terrain. Okay. As you get on, if you would like to ride the super cool underwater boat train, you can give me 100 polka dollars. And
Now, does our cool VIP pass knock any off of that?
Flash the pass.
sure, half price. Actually, roll me just a persuasion check.
Ooh, I'm probably gonna owe him more, actually.
Only if you go into the negatives.
Hey.
So the answer is no. It's still 100,
Okay,
but
okay.
at least you don't owe more. Could have been worse.
That is the VIP price.
Yes, but I am sorry. I don't have the super cool VIP stuff. Like
You
map
didn't
for
plan for
you.
everything in this impromptu cruise adventure. I'm so offended.
However,
I'm really
roll me-
curious to see what goes on with Magnus, but that's definitely going to be a good conversation to start next game on.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah.
I just want to finish these 3 up before we end it on. But actually, kid, roll me a perception check as you're on the train. They get you down to the bottom level. They sit you down. It's like a little roller coaster, but it actually goes slowly. It like speeds up and does a couple of like hills, but then it slows down as you get down into the ship. You are actually passing by the side of the ship, and you know, cartoon logic, this would probably not be safe at all. But you are essentially underwater, and a part of the ship has been cut away and replaced with plexiglass, several panels of it. Very thick. Very safe. And you can actually...
super thick glass.
Yep, and you can actually see out into the ocean, and wow, for a fucking 25, you see a shit ton of Pokemon. You're actually still relatively, like, close. It's not super deep. You've definitely gone past the shelf, the continental shelf. But there's still a lot of stuff out here. You see in the distance something long and flowy, and for a second you're like, oh, that's a Gyarados. But then as it gets closer, you kind of recognize the fact that it's probably a Melodic or something similar. There is like a school of Magikarp in the distance. Another school of Luminion passes by. Let's see, what else do I have around this general area?
It's gonna be unfortunate for V, because kid's definitely not gonna Pokedex any of them. But he will be taking pictures to send to them, like, y'all check it out. Fuck, look at all
Can
these
you-
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Can you Pokedex off of a picture?
No.
Damn it.
They're probably also not within 60 feet of the little
No.
train under the boat,
No.
so you wouldn't be able to Pokedex them.
Damn
that far away, but
You just got like a very disjointed train with a bunch of typos, and then a string of pictures of all these random aquatic Pokemon with no context at all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, Kid is like underwater and just taking very blurry pictures. But yeah, you see a whole shit ton of Pokemon, but that tour, you know, because it's going relatively slowly and there's a very classical narration, you know, like, in this world we share with these wonderful creatures called Pokemon, and it's
Professor Oak shows
Yes,
up on the
yeah.
on the screen.
exactly. You're like, hey, that guy looks familiar.
Now, maybe not gonna do it, but is there any way to get off the train while it's going?
Oh boy. I mean, you could attempt to. There is like a safety bar. And there is also a safety release if you lean down far enough, like over the edge of the train, and like pull the bright orange bar. You can technically release the hatch, but it says "Do not release" while the train is in motion, except for in the case of emergencies.
Do not do.
And like, there's other people on this train as well. You are not here alone. There's people in front of you and people behind you. Nobody in your little seat. But you can definitely...
But enough people that would notice if I suddenly
yes, yeah.
emergency release
out of the
them.
train.
Yeah, if you roll me like a natural 20 on your stealth check, I will allow you to...
I mean, I want to try. we've got so like
Go for it.
I want to give it the old college try.
Go for it. There is nothing I
Immediately
want
going to jail.
more than for you to
See,
be
that's
stuck
it, like-
in the bottom of the ship.
Yeah. Aw.
Got it.
Look
What's
at the
up?
advantage?
Yeah, I have
No,
inspiration.
you do.
Inspiration.
Yes.
I...
What's up, Chekhov? Where we at?
God. Damn it. God damn it. I knew it.
Ghosts out of the underwater tram.
Kid slinks out of the train and then you just cut away to Milo or V.
I mean, essentially, yeah, that's what happens. You purposefully drop your phone as a person, you know, people are oohing and awing at the sights, and you purposefully drop your phone and go, oops, drop my phone, slink down, pull the hatch as the train is turning and clanking, the thing unlocks, and then you pull back up, and then you're like, oops, drop my phone again, and you essentially sideways slide out from under it, and you just stay crouched there just long enough where people kind of forget that you were there in the first place, and as it's kind of like making a turn, and there's suddenly a shadow that obscures that part of the ship because suddenly a whale lord has come up on the side of the ship and has kind of thrown it all into darkness. You take your chance, and you very quickly like disembark and crouch down and press yourself against the side, and the train just goes and you are just on the tracks because why
now
not?
you're just here.
Now you're
I'm imagining it like something out of Epcot, like that whole you're in a car that sometimes like spins to the right and spins to the left as you're passing certain like displays and like
Yep.
different parts of the boat,
Yep.
and it just sort of rotates on this track and it moves like half a mile an hour, and now there's just an empty one, just like weird. But you know, it's happened before.
Yep. So, we cut away now with Kid on the
Fuck
tracks.
yeah.
Why the fuck not? Yeah,
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Milo, you are by the boats. The boats are quite a ways down. And there's like safety mechanisms adhering them to the ship. You are kind of like on that mid-level, bending over the railing, inspecting it. What are you looking for?
Okay. Are the boats open-topped, or are they like a contained boat that you go into a door from the side? Or is it something that you can just jump into the top of and then...
It's something that you can jump into the top of. They're literally like life rafts, and they're kind of secured. They are not... How do I say? They're not perpendicular to the boat. They're slightly tilted away from it. And you get the sense that the mechanisms that kind of keep them contained on to the side of the boat can be released, and then it basically is supposed to essentially slide down into the water. And they're angled, so they're kind of like, you know, going away from the water, essentially. From what you can understand, when you release a series of hatches and mechanisms, and you're smart enough, I'm not even making a roll for this. It's supposed to be something that one can do in an emergency.
Right.
That's what I was hoping for, is that, I mean, like, seeing an emergency release and kind of seeing... So it looks like something that if we were running towards it, he could jump into it, pull a couple levers, and they could be in the water.
Ideally. Can you roll me... Can you just roll me just an intelligence check to see how familiar you are with this?
Let's see. I do have proficiency with investigation.
Sure, go for it.
Okay.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay. You think... Yeah, I think you're taking a little bit longer to figure it out because you've never been on a cruise ship before and you don't know what this
he's
looks
just
like,
he's like intuiting that this
Right.
would be something that you could figure out in an emergency.
Okay. As you're kind of looking around, can you roll me a perception check as well? Because I'm assuming you're keeping an eye out for, like, you know, other people walking by.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's trying not to be obvious about what he's doing.
Yeah, you're kind of
The
like...
next question was security cameras.
Yeah, you kind of catch a couple of security cameras. There are definitely security cameras trained on this, on the boats.
Yeah.
You notice one, and you're kind of leaning over the side. You're kind of looking down at the boats, you know, inspecting them. You're not doing anything suspicious. You are inspecting safety mechanisms. It's not necessarily a bad
He's just
thing.
curious.
Yeah, exactly. But what you do notice is, like, as you're kind of looking around, you know, and then you glance up and you see a little face looking down at you from the very top level, or maybe even like the level up above you. You see that there's a kid, maybe about 13, a little bit younger than you are, who's also hanging over the railing, watching you look at the boats. And he's just kind of like hanging off the railing, kind of kicking one of his feet up and out through the rails, and just curious, looking at you, looking at Riolu, who you've got out with you again.
Yep.
And he just goes, "Are you looking for it too?"
Looking for what? Did you see something?
Kind of pauses, bites his lip, goes, "Yeah, maybe. What are you looking for?"
I mean, honestly, this is just the first time I've been on a cruise ship, so I kind of wanted to see what these, you know, how easy these were to get into the water, just in the event there was an emergency and I needed to lead my friends to safety. So I was just sort of checking out the boats. What were you seeing?
Oh, kind of pauses and goes, now that I think about it, he's probably younger than 13. He looks like he's about like 8 or 9.
That's kind of how I was
Yeah,
picturing
yeah.
it in my mind, yeah.
I started talking and I'm like, this is not a 13-year-old.
I was 13
Yeah.
or 14.
Yeah, 14. And kind of goes, "I came here from Kalos. Do you know where that is?"
Kalos, that's way off to the west, right? That's a ways away.
Yeah, we've been here on the boat a long time, and I was on the boat, and like it was like a while ago, and there was this person, and it was like late at night, and I wasn't supposed to be out, so I like... He kind of pauses and gets distracted by something in the distance. And then kind of blinks and looks back down at you. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw somebody, were they riding on a Pokemon?
Oh, yeah, no. No, it was like late at night and he was walking and he kind of looked... He didn't look like you, but he looked like you in the sense that like he looked like a Pokemon trainer. And he walked over here and he was saying like bad words. Like he was saying words that my mom says I'm not supposed to say, and then he was like and he looks around very quickly and he said like the frick word, and then he said frick, and he said frick this, frick you, and he threw something into the thing, and he points down to the life rafts. And he's like, and I want to go down and look for it because it looks shiny, but I can't. My mom says I can't go into the lifeboats.
Well, how about I go take a look for both of us, okay? Because I'm now curious.
Okay.
He'll go, all right, I'm going to show you another one of my friends, all right? So this is Lou. All right, but you got to go away now, Lou. Sorry. And he'll send him away and he'll pull out Chester.
Okay.
Like, all right, Chester, we've worked on this.
Away now.
Oh, God, he's so big.
Dear Chester.
what I need you to do is just go ahead, wrap your vines around my chest, and just lower me down into the boat, okay?
Okay.
I'll have Chester lower me down.
Chester kind of flexes for you a little bit. He's looking really pumped. You guys have had quite a few victories. He does get distracted a brief moment because he's like, "Ooh, where are we now?
We're
on a ship.
Where am I?
Yeah, where are we?" He does the general thing where he like starts sniffing some of the railings and then kind of looks around, looks over the railings, and immediately kind of backs up a little bit and jumping because he didn't realize you guys were over water.
Yeah, it's all good, buddy. Just here. Milo will kind of like climb over the railing so that Chester's on one side of the railing and he's just standing on the other.
Okay.
Just go ahead and
the kid
put
from
your
above immediately goes, "You're not supposed to do that."
I know, it's okay. Okay, so go ahead, just put your vines through the railing and around my waist and just secure them for me, okay, buddy? And that way, if you get pulled, you'll be pulled up against the railings and you can't be pulled over the edge. And if I fall, I'll fall into the raft. And I mean, so security comes and then I get a clock how quick they get here. It's all a win. You got it?
Chess. And he kind of gets his vines, kind of thinks about it a little bit, wraps them a couple of times around the railing, and then pulls them over towards you, wraps it around your chest. And he kind of, you've done this a couple of times now, so he's gotten into the habit of doing a sort of like rock climbing harness type of hold, where he's not just got you by the middle so that your spine snaps, you know.
Yeah, is this what was...
Yeah. So he kind of goes around your waist, and then he also goes kind of around both of your thighs a little bit, so that if you fall, it like controls both of that.
Perfect.
And then he slowly begins to let you down. Roll me a stealth check, just for funsies, just to see how stealthy you are doing this.
It's 21.
Wow, that is really good.
That's actually surprisingly good.
Yeah. You kind of pause, you duck underneath, you see another person coming up from like around this way, with a person, and you immediately duck like behind. And Chespin also kind of pulls himself up against it. And the thing is, there's like life rafts hanging off at each intermediary pole in this area. So what Chespin actually does is he kind of dives underneath one of those little life vests, right? They're hanging off of each pole so that you can just grab one and jump into the water. Yeah. So what Chespin actually does is Chester like dives inside one of the life vests and kind of just like huddles up inside of it. The person walks by, chatting on their phone, not noticing anything, and then just continues by. You're hanging out on, underneath, so you don't know nothing.
All right, go ahead, lower me down.
Okay. It lowers you down. Again, like I said, this is at an incline, so you immediately kind of go zoop down towards like the lower end of it. But you're in the life raft.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna look around for whatever he said dropped.
Okay. You notice a couple of things.
What did it look like again?
Go ahead and roll me a investigation again.
Investigation.
The kid from the top yells, it was like shiny. It was like shiny and white. I think it was like a cool rock.
Okay. All right. Cool rock. Okay. And he's gonna look around for the rock, but while he's in the boat, he's trying to like assess, like just familiarize himself with it. Mm-hmm. This is actually a really good thing, even if security comes out, because he has a golden ticket and
Mm-hmm. Get out of jail free card.
Now he's basically from the moment he jumped over the railing, he's been kind of keeping track in his mind as to how long. Not like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, but like it's been about a minute, it's been about 2 minutes, that kind, just to see how long it takes.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. So you get down there. You're pretty quick, especially with your stealth check. You've been pretty nifty with it. You begin to search around. You find a couple of things. You find some rope that's coiled up. What are things? You find a first aid kit that's, strapped to one side of it. You also probably find some potable water, like maybe about 2 liters. All the standard stuff that comes with a life
survival
raft.
gear.
Yeah, survival gear, etc. A bunch of other life jackets. And then as you're inspecting the life jackets, underneath one of them, you see something that looks like it has been there for a while, because it's partially covered in like mildew. But you kind of push the life jacket out of the way, slip your hand between, like, the, because it's inflated, the life raft is. So you kind of slip your hand underneath and grab it, and you pull it out, and it's a Pokeball.
Okay.
It's a Premier Ball, which is why it's white.
All right. He'll kind of, like, stand up and hold himself at that angle against it and hold up. It was a Pokeball! Okay.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, I mean, definitely cool. Okay,
Can I have
time
it?
for us to. Yeah, let me get out of the life raft first, and lifeboat first, and then I'll bring it up to you.
Okay.
Let me.
Is there Pokemon in it?
So
I
you,
honestly don't know.
so you begin.
Are you gonna swap it out with a regular Pokeball when you get up there?
No, I mean, I'll give him the Premier Ball. I don't. If the kid wants.
Milo's too good for this world. He must be protected at all costs.
I mean,
His
make sure
immediate
there isn't
instinct was like,
actually a Pokemon
I'm just
in
gonna
it.
give it to this kid, and then the kid asked, and he was like, okay, I was gonna give it to you anyway.
Wait, but if there's a Pokemon in it, then you could have a free Pokemon.
That's fair. I want to see if there's anybody in it, because they could have been in there for a long time. But then I'll give it to you, and then he'll try to climb back up to where Chester is.
Okay. You begin to climb. I mean, Chester is helping you as well, and you can use those
he's
release
raising-
the release mechanisms as you climb back up. And as you're climbing, immediately to the other side, from where that woman has gone, you see the security officer. Not the same one, a different one. But you see a security officer round the corner and look at you and immediately start, like, power walking towards you, going, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Milo will kind of just be. He'll lean down. What side of the railing was I on when he saw me?
You were on the opposite side of the railing. You were, like, climbing back over it.
Okay. Has he spotted Chester?
Chester is still, like, in the life jacket. And
Okay.
is trying to stay in there.
He'll stay hidden. Milo will kind of like just leap over it and land on the deck and look around, and he's just gonna like dust himself off, and I'll just slip the Pokeball into my back, or the Premier Ball into my bag. Well, I probably had to put it away to climb, so
Yeah.
he'll just dust himself off and look around and see the guy power walking at him and just smile like nothing's wrong.
What? That's super dangerous. You should not be messing with the safety equipment. If we need to get off this boat, it needs to be in prime condition. What are you doing, kid?
I wasn't messing with anything. I was honestly, I just wanted to get a better view of the boat, just in case something went wrong. I figured that having some familiarity with it, and being able to see it, and then I was leaning over the rail, and I was like, wow, I can kind of see what's going on in there, but I can't quite see, like, what was that thing that was there? It was like under one of those little bench parts, and so I kind of had to jump over the railing, but I was very careful. And I had my hands on it the whole time, and I leaned over it, and I was able to see that it was a first aid kit, and that's really useful to have in.
It's
in a
really not
raft.
going to be very useful if you fall off the boat and fall into the water, kid. You really, please don't do that.
I have a
in the
35-foot
future.
swim speed. Don't worry about me.
Wow, that is actually really impressive. Listen, just don't do it again, all right? And
Yeah.
there's impressionable kids watching. Even if you can do it, they might be able to copy you. Look at that kid up there. And he points to the kid who's, like, picking his nose while he's watching both of you.
Yeah, I don't think he's dumb enough to do what I just did, but I do hear what you're saying, and I understand. All is good. Yeah.
All right, just don't. We have security cameras up here. We can see it happening. So
Okay.
just
Yeah. No. Okay. So. Okay. Got it.
Don't do it
Milo
again.
will kind of like look.
Sorry.
Does he like point out the security camera?
He does, and you've seen them. You saw them before. They're not hidden or anything. You saw where they
Okay.
were before. So yeah, they're definitely trained. Like at least 2 of them are trained on the lifeboats. The rest of them are mostly watching the hallway. But
My last logistical question that I need to know: what type of security cameras are they? Are they the kind that are like the old school, like video camera hanging from a ceiling with a wire out of the back that looks like it
Yes.
could be?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
They are not the expensive,
Like
Hell,
don't.
hell yeah!
Right.
That means we can take advantage of that. Okay.
I was expecting us to need to do some sort of like ink maneuver, but those can be just flat out ripped down or destroyed.
Or you could even just like push it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Into
Okay.
a different configuration.
All right.
Also,
Work.
definitely, if that had been happening at the same time that V was like being shown the helm with like the security camera bank, like, and if he had seen Milo on it, he would have tried to distract them so they didn't actually see him.
That
Do
may
it
have been
while it happened
why
on the
they were a
camera.
little bit too late. To arrive.
Didn't quite see him in the
Hell yeah.
boat. Is there anything in the premiere ball, or is it an empty premiere ball?
You click it. It does not open. But the button on the top, which, releases the Pokemon and also activates the mechanism, blinks red 3 times and fades out again.
So it's empty.
You don't know. Usually if a
Oh, I
Pokeball is
think
empty,
that
you can
means
just
there's
click
something in
it,
it.
click it and open
Yeah.
it. You've never seen this before.
Does that mean it's still synced to whoever had it when they threw it away and can't open it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean that
But
would
there's
make
Pokemon
sense.
in it.
Yeah.
Keep
Okay.
it.
Milo will go up to the deck above him. He'll kind of just shout up, "Just wait right there!" He'll go up to the deck above him with Chester. Okay, so the Pokeball that was in there was, it belongs to somebody. So I'm going to find out who it belongs to and return their friend to them. But I do have this one, and he'll take out let's see, which ones does he have? He'll just take out one of his tight Pokeballs. Now this is a new one, okay? This one will change color depending on like the type of Pokemon that you put into it. So when you become a trainer, and he'll hand that one to him, you have a good place to start from.
Ooh. Really? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
Can I say, like, the... Okay.
Can you...
Can I tell my mom about this?
Tell her that a stranger was very nice to you
Okay.
and gave
Maybe
you that
not like
Pokeball.
that.
But maybe not tell her about me jumping into the life raft. Just say that you met a cool kid and he was a Pokemon trainer and, gave you the Pokeball.
Yeah, you were way cooler than the other guy. You didn't even say the bad words. Okay, bye. And he takes it and just runs off.
All right, now it makes sense. The other guy dropped the Pokeball. That was why he was sad. Okay. All right. And he looks down at the premiere ball. I need to find your owner.
Somebody threw their Pokemon away. It legally belongs to you now.
He didn't. Did he throw it away or did he drop it? We have.
I
the
thought
testimony
you
of a
said that
child.
he was angry and then threw it threw it away.
Milo, roll me an insight check.
That's what I remember.
I can't remember.
Oh
You
no!
don't know. You don't know. Also,
Alright,
you
time to
received
hack the Pokeball.
it's a story told to you by an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I mean,
Second
either
party.
way, Milo would have found the owner before making any assessment. He's still going to talk to him first, and they've broken Pokeballs before.
That's true. Yeah. But as you kind of turn away, glance down at the lifeboats, reassured that you're pretty certain you can
Emergency
probably
escape.
use it as an emergency escape. As Kid is in the bowels of this ship, for God knows what reason, I'm not even certain what to tell you, and V finishes up his tour, successful in beeping the horn, and as the evening draws ever closer, and I have to find myself a map of a fancy dining hall. I think this is a great way to...
This will be a good place to start. That was fun. We got off Cinnabar!
Yeah.
And onto a trap.
Oh god,
Cruise
it's
ship.
such a trap. It's such a trap.
It's fine.
But
It'll
we're
be
going... We knew it was a trap. And at no point did
Yeah,
anyone
that's why
go,
we had
"No,
to
we
do it."
can't do that," because the only one who would have said that's Milo. And I was like, "No, I don't want to do that. I need to know. I need
You
to know what's
removed
there."
Milo from the situation just so.
Well, he also needed to know, and the more I thought about it, the more I just bought into the logic of it's just going to get worse from here. So while they're inviting us on a cruise ship, let's just go and talk to them.